Berchtesgaden and Garmisch are pretty well-known tourist towns in Germany, and that's where you see the castle that Disney modeled his the whole Disney thing on.
Really?
Neuschwanstein. Yeah, yeah, that's where that castle is, and it's just beautiful, like picturesque as you can possibly imagine.
Man, and you were 18, 19 years old at this point in time?
Yes, I was about 19 at the time, and
So, Masa,
you know,
when you're seeing this big castle, do you understand the history that's there at that age? Because I know when I was that age, I had no idea what history was. I thought I knew everything back then. And lo and
yeah, of
behold, you
course
and I
you
are both a little bit older now, so we know better.
did.
But did you
Yeah.
understand what you were looking at and how beautiful it was?
Well, I mean, yeah, it just I felt like I fully appreciated it. I was just in awe, really, because I'd been to Disney World when I was younger, and to see like the real thing in front of me was just I don't know I just to learn that this is a 1,000-year-old castle they had built so long ago, and it was just I don't know it was hard to take in
Sure.
everything, but I felt like I had a real appreciation for it when
Well,
I
let
was
me ask you
looking
a
at it.
question. Were you able to go into the castle at all, or did you get into any
Well,
castles while you were in Germany?
well, that was the one that I did get going. It was like a small tour. We didn't get to tour the whole thing, but we
What's
got
it
to,
like inside that castle that's 1,000 years old?
uh, I mean, I don't know. It's just it's hard to explain. It's kind of like what you see in the movies. There's just all stone and uh, big. There's some big open rooms, and you know, it's hard to explain. I wish I could. I have some pictures to show you, but I don't think I even have those old pictures anymore. So,
Well, I'm just trying to give our listeners a good explanation of what that like. The smells, the sight, the feeling that you had when you were there. Did you feel the history when you were in this castle?
oh yeah, yes, definitely, definitely. It was, yeah, it was pretty amazing to see. Just, just the smell was, it wasn't really. It was there wasn't much of a smell, but just the feeling, to be so solid and built all of nothing but stone that it you can really feel now how people felt safe being surrounded by all this stone, and that would put up a big fight against any invaders. So um, I don't know. It was you can almost just feel more than anything how old and solid solid the whole structure was. But
Well,
uh,
I think that's what I'm thinking about right now. I'm sitting here just thinking and imagining standing there beside you, looking at this castle that's 1,000 years old that has been standing for so long, for 10 decades. I mean, or 10, 100 years. That's crazy.
yeah,
Um, that's amazing to me. And then all the battles that maybe were fought there, the history that you were able to be a part of. And then I think about, you, Masa, as a young man in Guam, and you go to flat South Georgia, and here you are in Germany in your late teens and early 20s. That's amazing.
yeah, yeah. It was. Yeah, and then again, I think back on these times, and I think how lucky I actually was to be able to experience all these things. And I was, I'm just I considered myself highly fortunate to actually have served, because I never would have experienced all these things, and it was such a huge thing for someone that young to go through and experience. So again, I would love to go back just to see how different I would feel more than anything about all these things. But I mean, it, just to be able to say, I was there in Germany when the wall came down. When the
Wow.
curtain, when the Iron Curtain came down, it was, you know, it was highly emotional. It was charged, and it was celebrating for over a week straight, and just to go through these, just to see it all go down in front of my eyes, to be there. It was just, I mean, it's hard for me to even like really appreciate myself saying as I say it now.
Man, Masa, I'm sitting here thinking and just putting myself in your shoes. That is an unbelievable experience, brother. You've seen Guam, you've seen Georgia, you're in Germany, and the Berlin Wall comes down. How amazing is this? What a career, and you're not even 25 yet, right?
Well, no, I only, no, I was only 20. Yeah, I was about 20 years old at the time.
Wow. Wow. The amount of history that you got to see in such a short period of time is so unbelievable. And, you and I have talked offline about it. I'm just a good old Georgia boy. I would never have had the opportunity to see the world too, and experience the cultures that I've had a chance to experience, and see the things that I've had a chance to see. And, you and I served in different eras. You're a bit older than I am, but we've both been in the same theater together. You served in Desert Storm, is that correct?
Correct.
Wow, man. So tell us about there. Let's go back to the wall coming down, and then let's talk about the timeline leading up to Desert Storm, Desert Shield.
Okay. Okay.
So take us to the wall and what that really meant to the community then. When it came down, what are you feeling as an American, and what are you seeing in the community?
Well, it was, like I said, it was emotionally charged. From my perspective, I remember Ronald Reagan, and his whole speech about, telling Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Absolutely.
And it actually, just to see it actually happen, I was really amazed. The thing is, too, I also got a lot of perspective from the German people, like the West Germans. At that time it was West Germany, East Germany. So I had a lot of West German friends that they had mixed emotions too.
Sure.
I mean, generally as a rule, the country was happy to see, happy to join back in with all their brothers and sisters, and see, East Germany come back into the fold. But also there was some dissension because the German Deutschmark was going to take a big hit.
Okay.
From having to pull in that whole poor economy into their economy.
Right.
So, again, there was like many aspects to it that I was seeing from their side. Of course, like huge celebration, and there was just like a parade of people marching across the old borders, like Checkpoint Charlie, which was, just, it was historical on every level. But I don't even know how to really cover everything as far as it goes.
I think you've done a great job just explaining to our listeners right there the impact that it had on you and just the community there in Germany too. That's tremendous. And you and I both know we can't please everybody, right? There's always going to be people who are not happy with something, and that's neither here nor there. I think we're better off now because of the wall coming down. What was it like on the base at that point in time? Were you guys at a higher level of, force protection condition or anything, on alert? What was it like?
No, not really. I believe the border units were of course a little bit more on alert. They might have stepped up their threat conditions, but for the most part, it was more of an atmosphere of celebration on everything. I mean, there were people that were just going up there and helping to tear down parts of the wall, on their own, like without any official help.
Right.
And so I even had a piece of the wall at some point, and it was I don't know. I think I left that at my parents' house, but it was supposedly kind of a hazard also, because I think supposedly there was asbestos used in part of the construction of that wall too. So yeah, there was a big rush of like selling souvenirs from the wall. There was just parts of the walls with souvenirs too.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just it's hard to fully explain or even grasp it still.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Masa, we've got just a minute or two left, and I want to say thank you so much for helping our listeners understand a point in history that was so impactful for so many citizens around the world, around the globe. That wasn't just Germany at that point in time. That was a global
Oh yeah,
issue, you know.
right.
I think
That was all
really,
the communist countries coming apart.
oh, absolutely, and I think you explained it so perfectly well. I can't say thank you enough for joining us today here on the Honor Across Arms podcast. And you can catch us, listeners, you can catch us on iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're on Alexa. We're on Google Play, wherever you want to find us at. Whatever your favorite listening option is for your podcast, choose us, please, here on the Honor Across Arms podcast. Masa Kenney, thank you again so much for your service, sir, to this country. And thank you for taking the time out today to talk on the Honor Across Arms podcast. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it myself. Thank you very much.
All right, you take care, and listeners, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Line over there, send the word over there, that the Yanks are coming, the drums coming everywhere, so prepare, say a prayer, send the word to beware, we'll be over, we're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over there.